January 2026. Stepnohirsk. Defensive operations in the Zaporozhye direction continued. The Russians, who had previously successfully breached the SOU's forward positions, were unable to gain a foothold on the new defensive line to complete the siege of Stepnohirsk. The Revenge Tactical Group of the International Legion of the Ukrainian Army, GUR, received orders to destroy the remaining Russian infantry groups surrounding the settlement. The objective was to conduct reconnaissance, identify the Russians, destroy fortifications with explosives, and retreat to safe areas to minimize losses. Regular airstrikes and sorties by Ukrainian groups weakened the Russians, who never received reinforcements. However, the Russians continued to actively use FPVs and artillery to protect their frontline troops. As a result of these attacks, Russian troops were detected, and shelters and personnel were destroyed by complex fire damage. The situation in Zakit is as follows. Russian troops have infiltrated the frozen Seversky Donets River, and search and attack operations are underway. Russia continues its offensive operations from 3 directions, with particular attention being paid to infiltrating the flanks of Ukrainian units. Recently, several small Russian groups successfully crossed the Seversky Donets River through a frozen section and infiltrated the space between positions. Ukrainian units are currently conducting search and attack missions to identify and destroy Russian infantry in the settlement. In addition, isolated cases of Russian groups moving along the Seversky Donets River from the direction of Zaporizhye forest have been recorded, using the lowlands used by the Russians as cover from weapons and reconnaissance. Over the past month, more than a dozen Russian military personnel have been captured in the area where the 81st OEMB is operating. According to them, the commander of the occupying forces was tasked with entering the designated area, where the Ukrainian defense forces were not present. However, on their approach, they were intercepted by BPS forces, resulting in heavy Russian losses. The situation in the 81st Brigade's area of responsibility remains complex, but the soldiers are putting up a decent fight against the Russians and continuing to hold off a potential attack towards Slavyansk.